goddess of 10,000 names, lady of life, lady of terror.
Advancing the story.
If we have to, we try again.
So what is this, like all sacrifices to try to bring her back or something like that? Oh, you're gonna have her drink the blood.
As it was in the beginning of time, when the furnace of her breath created the desert, so be it now.
That's a crazy way of branding.
Come, Sekhmet. Come, ceaseless night. Fill our hearts with joy.
Is she just gonna blow up?
It takes strength to be her sacred vessel.
God damn.
Can
Oh
you
no.
feel her?
She turned into a gym, bro. No joking. Failure. Yeah, she literally just blew up.
Not again.
I mean, why don't you take some of this special ass drink? Like, what the fuck? Got me drinking this bullshit. Hell nah. Over here, turned us into vampires.
You couldn't have saved them.
I don't only pick the fights I can win.
Then you're a fool.
No. I'm just not an animal.
He's like, he's stupid as shit, bro.
I've seen enough too, Old Rocks. Enough to know that some things are worth dying for. And some things are not.
You made this for me. I used to stare at it when I had trouble sleeping.
Just standing in a corner, creepy as shit.
Does it seem quieter to you?
And there's a smell in the air. Iron. Flesh.
Blood. The National Guard. All of them.
Yeah.
Who could have done this? Vampires.
Not in the daylight. Elizabeth will have a new army of night creatures by tomorrow.
Thanks to him.
Yeah, you gonna take out your dad? Send a bird over there to cut his head off or some shit? Like, what the fuck?
I have a newfound fondness for this contraption.
They brought you back. Oh, wait, you summoning baddies?
The second time a vampire. And the third. A new and glorious thing.
Is this fucking night creature like all metal? Like, what the fuck? What was that?
Annette.
I like how Alucard doesn't say anything, doesn't fucking matter. He's just like, eh. You know,
This is
damn.
Elizabeth's doing.
But we're miles from Mashku.
She left a trail.
Everywhere.
Oh.
Keep rowing.
Are you just going to leave them behind?
We don't have time for distractions.
But there are people in that village.
Yeah, but you also have to just complete the mission.
They'll be killed if you don't help them.
And?
We can't just pass them by.
If we rush to rescue every distressed villager, Elizabeth will rule the whole country before we have half a chance to stop.
You gotta let some things go. He's like, look, I'm trying to get the pussy, bro. Like, just work with me one time. Yeah, you may have saved him, but you probably have to kill him too. Like, sorry, bro, I saved you, but I gotta kill you too. God. Never stood a chance. I mean, to be fair, Alucard's a little asshole because he could just send his sword over there to kill them all. He doesn't really need much.
Anyone ever tell you not to torment your food?
Nice. Sheesh.
I think I killed all of them. None left to report back to Ursabet. What?
Yesterday, when we were fighting vampires, I might have given our destination away. I was just...
Showing off, as usual.
I'm sorry. It was stupid. I wasn't thinking.
No, you weren't. You don't.
What's done is done, Alucard.
No, Alucard is thinking generational here. He's like, no, you guys never think. Like, you just fucking go out there with your dick out and you just think you're gonna just fucking make it.
You were a captain in the Revolutionary Army.
Yes. And now I am a new and glorious thing.
Bitch, are you a crystal? Like,
All I dreamed of was the opera. When I sang, people loved me. But the world is dark and cruel and filled with monsters. And that was too much to bear.
this is fucking Emma Frost over here.
That's why you joined the Revolutionary Army.
Yes. To purge the world of monsters.
Her design is a little bit funny though. It's like you gave her 2 straps for her titties, but you left her assed out. Like, you know, like literally ass is out. Man, bitch, what are you doing? Making black holes?
They look different when I'm angry. Do I draw them from somewhere else? Or do I change them somehow? Maybe I'm making monsters. Like my father.
Yeah, you pass it down.
My fault for going back to the Abbey. My fault that you're...
None of this is your fault. It was my job to keep you safe, and I'd do it again 1,000 times. This is the place where I first taught you to call creatures from other worlds. Do you remember when I told you that? I taught you that magic is subtle as a blade. That it has 2 sides.
But it can be used for survival or slaughter.
She just sitting there like Palpatine. Yes, my dark Padawan. Yes. Evil. It's like, I guess being a vampire started bringing that side out. Yeah, yeah. Start making these terrifying monsters that you can just summon out your ass. Yeah.
I'll leave soon, Your Magnificence, and give the vermin a shock. Soon, Sekhmet will be whole again.
And I will be whole.
Oh, look.
What is, you want some compensation? Oh my god, this guy. Looks like the reward is just that you get to join the group.
Hail, Keeper of Light, Mother of the Dead.
So what the fuck y'all doing over here?
Once again, I find myself wondering where you've been.
Admiring the brutality with which you slaughtered the Revolutionary Army.
He was making a heartfelt display of his loyalty. And it occurs to me, Aurochs, that you have done no such thing.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen.
We sacrificed all we had to serve Ursabet. What have you ever sacrificed, Aurochs? What would you die for?
Or who?
Only you.
If you love me, Olrox, you can wear it on your face.
He showed up at a bad time. He over here just, oh yeah, shit, just got back from getting a little bit of booty. Like, nah, man, like you should have just waited 5 more minutes.
All our men are dead. And yet, here we stand.
What are you doing here, Miss Rack?
I'm here to say that it's not too late, Emmanuel.
How would I repent? Unmake the night creatures?
The man I knew was never afraid to die.
You wouldn't question me if you glimpsed what I have of the other side. Sometimes in the twilight, quiet laughter. Hell. Waiting. Whispering your name.
You told me it would be worth it, because you plan to use the night creatures to kill Elizabeth. Why don't you do that now?
Because he's a whole bitch.
Now I've seen that she could crush them with an open palm.
So you fought to wrestle the world from the hands of the revolutionaries, only to surrender it to her.
Exactly. Like,
when Elizabeth finally swallows the sun and floods this world with darkness, we'll find that they were the luckiest of us. The ones who didn't live to see it.
man, come and kill this nigga and then blow up the machine. Like, don't leave him around. Kill him, blow up the machine. Like,
The first time I touched the other world, it felt like ripping a hole through the fabric of the world. I remember how scared I was of what I might draw out.
fucking, they just keep her mad creepy every time, bro.
I can feel them. Strange things on the other side. Creatures that want to get out.
I'm just gonna let him free. She's gonna fucking summon S-class demons from Yu Yu Hakusho. Fucking Togoro! She gathered her hand like, stop being a bitch. You're not your father, alright? Fucking summon Fenrir over here. She really trying to capture all the Pokemon.
Never control it if you fear it.
My level's high enough. No.
To control it like I do with my birds, I need to harness some part of its nature. Be more like it.
Ah, you gonna go evil?
Powerful. Predatory.
Heh. Good, good. The darkness is flowing through you. I was wondering when he was gonna come up.
Get out of the way.
No, my mom's alright. She's alright. She's cool.
Who are you?
What are you doing here?
I'm trying to save your daughter from you.
No, please! She's not like them!
You show me a rat that's different from any other rat. I've seen hundreds of vampires in my life, and they're all the same.
Oof. Okay, old man. She moving too. Heal up. Nice. Oh wait, she stopped her urge. Maybe she is a little different.
I'm sorry. I don't want to kill you.
God damn!
The National Guard. It makes me sick looking at them. He needs to be stopped.
That's a night creature too.
Yeah, this is her first time seeing it. Her mouth was open.
How's that possible? Where's Maria?
Bitch, she's going straight to try to assassinate her dad. Man, she's like, I gotta take this guy out.
From what?
From what she's about to do. She's going to kill her father.
I mean, you were the one who was helping her summon darkness.
Look at all this.
That looks like way more than the National Guard.
To everything we've ever wanted.
Because I'm like, the thing too is that if she kills her father, so these night creatures would have just, they fully go underneath control of her now, or is it? Because they're really listening to him. Other than, of course, you know, number one baddie over here. Then you might just have him just run amok and try to kill everything.
Something's about to happen.
Oh, the local guillotine cutting heads off. Everybody come to the town square. Got another world noble over here?
I think that's the king.
Not anymore.
Which Louis is it? I've lost count.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I was like, who is it, Louis something?
I'm all for beheading vampire aristos. I mean, people who are actually evil.
Yeah, Richter's like, hey, that's a regular guy. Luigi Mangione comes out. Hey, bro, this is the time. This is what you got to do.
It's not about good kings or bad kings. No one can reign innocently. This is the cost. This is the way we let change in.
Through the widow's window.
Tell me, a royalist too.
I'm a realist, but I'm also very old. I'm not saying that when you live for centuries you stop caring. But enough rebellions and upheavals and you notice the patterns. They start with hope and end with bloodshed. Or they start with bloodshed and end with bloodshed.
A true revolution.
Annette, what's wrong?
Yeah, you need to go fuck with your ancestors over here. Go into the dark zone of them or some shit. You're getting called to the afterlife. Your ass is being pulled into the afterlife. We're gonna have to see what's with Annette. I mean, she's been ignoring it the entire fucking time. She's like, hey, look, there was more than that. Papa was only just at the beginning, but there's something else. And she was like, what? And so this entire time, she's just been fucking like looking at shit, but then like tripping out. But anyways, I believe her name is Drago, number one baddie. You know what I'm saying? Over here, we get to see more of the past, which I do like that they're getting to the point where Erythrit actually comes to being by showing like her first coming. So she was the very first one to become a vampire or whatever through drinking the blood, but then she's passing it down to all these other maidens in order to try to bring back her goddess. And so we're going to lead ourselves into when Erythrit comes. And yeah, it also shows probably why they have such a strong attachment to one another too, when you're seeing all this and like how much she's been trying. But yeah, Maria and Tara over here channeling the darkness at this point in time, getting bigger and stronger creatures. Yeah, it's kind of funny though with Tara telling Maria, oh, don't be scared. It's like her basically just saying, don't be a bitch like your dad, all right? Like, and don't be a bitch like your dad. Go ahead and fucking do it, all right? And she did. She ends up getting something out, but it could be a big mistake, because I am wondering, like, what happens if you just kill them? Because wouldn't they just run amok, like all the night creatures? Or would they just fall underneath Erythrit? We have, of course, what seems to be Emma Frost over here being born, which it does seem like it might just lead to him actually dying and us getting something from these night creatures, because there's been a lot, like a big draw on the night creatures on this side. That we had it with Isaac before, like just a little bit with him talking to them, like what do you kind of remember, or like how do you feel, like when he was trying to like tap into them, if you will. But in this case, like we're getting like full blown you know, I remember everything from my past type of motherfucker. Like, you know what I mean? So with this, there's so much of a draw on these characters that we have that are kind of shaping up with these night creatures. We have basically 3 right now, technically 4 if you want to add number 1 baddie to it. So I'm just wondering, like, is it just going to lead to a situation where he does die? Or I was thinking before that he was just going to set, you know, I forgot her, Annette's friend who ended up dying, right? I wonder if, like, I thought he was going to let him go the way that he was talking to him, because it seemed like he was just like, you know, you can go fuck off and do whatever the fuck it is. Like, you know what I mean? Like, this is just like a hopeless thing anyways. But I'm not too sure. It just seems like it is going to be more pertaining to them, because we're getting more and more from it. Like, he's basically going to be the leader of that faction to some extent. I don't know how many people are going to be with him, I don't know, but it just seemed like he is going to be his own character for what we have, not necessarily be underneath somebody. But you never know, it could be the same contentions that we had last time, but you might want to do it differently, because you've already had Annette going there with him, like had him at odds, them coming together and whatnot. Like, what would really tip that scale, if you will? I do think he's going to be like free to some extent. But either way, I'm interested to see what else we're going to get. So let's go.